The Central Division's best team tries to defend home turf where they've yet to lose this season. Orlando City B sits at 6-4-2 overall. They welcome in FC Cincinnati 2, who has yet to win a game on the road. They are 3-5-3. Great to have you with us from Kissimmee, Florida. 91 degrees and sunny. I'm Ryan Pierce. Let's have a look at the standings as we enter tonight with 21 points. Orlando City B is in fourth place in the Eastern Conference, just 2 points behind second and third in New England and New York Red Bulls too. You scroll down just a little bit and you can see their opponents tonight. FC Cincinnati 2 tied for ninth, but they're only a handful of points behind 8th in Philadelphia Union. 3 points tonight would be a big pickup. Let's have a look at the starting lineups for both teams. First for Orlando City 2. They come in losing and being shut out last week by a 3-0 score. There are some changes in their starting lineups. Orlando City this year has been led by Jack Lynn. The forward from St. Louis has 6 goals. The big change, as we'll talk about this as we go along, Alex Freeman is in the starting lineup. He is a defender that has 3 goals this season. He's been absolutely fantastic in that back line, now back in the starting lineup. For Cincinnati, and there we go. We got our starting lineups right there. That's Orlando City. We talked about Jack Lynn. We talked about in the back line, Freeman. Otero is the goalkeeper between the pipes, and then you can see Jan Solis getting the start as one of the forwards in this 4-1-3-2 from Coach Perlman. Okay, let's get a look at that Cincinnati 2 starting lineup tonight. As they come in, they've yet to win a road game this season, but they've been pretty good recently, playing better football. 4-4-2 formation for Coach Tyrone Marshall. You have Stitz and Mills, the top. Ryder Mills is one of their top goal scorers. Only has 2 this season, but scored one of them in that 3-1 loss on Thursday against Inter Miami. Stitz is their leading goal scorer with 3. He continues to impress. The 31st pick by DC United in the 2022 MLS Super Draft, as Paul Walters is their keeper between the pipes. A pretty similar lineup that they had on Thursday in their loss to Inter Miami. One change, Steven Jimenez, who we're going to see a lot more going forward for Coach Marshall, gets the call in the starting lineup tonight, the 25-year-old from Riverdale, Maryland. We are set from Kissimmee, Florida. Great to have you with us in Week 13 of MLS Next. It has been an exciting year so far. Orlando City can move all the way up into second place. They're coming off a shutout. They were clean-sheeted. A 3-0 loss last week. They are 2-2-1 over their last 5 games. Their loss to Toronto FC ended a 3-match winning streak, as we're off and running. Cincinnati FC is 3-5-3, 1-3-1 in their last 5 matches. This June, MLS Next Pro is happy to celebrate Pride Month and support our LGBTQ fans and community. The beautiful game is for everyone. The big storyline tonight, the currently unbeaten at home Orlando City B team is trying to keep that number alive. Cincinnati has yet to win a game on the road. Could both of those streaks end tonight? They would if Cincinnati can pull off the victory. If they're going to score, it's important to score early. We'll tell you why in just a second. Orlando City B already in the attacking third and putting pressure on Cincinnati. A chip to the box, an opportunity at the top, and making the save as he rolls to the ground is the keeper, Paul Walters. So he is tested early. Orlando City putting pressure on Cincinnati. If you break the match down by 6 different sets of 15 minutes, the worst one for Orlando City has been the first 15. They've been outscored 4-2 in that part of the match. So if Cincinnati is going to get Orlando City and try to pick up their first road win, they're going to have to do it early, as an offsides is whistled. Officials tonight, Kyle Johnson. AR1 is Jeremy Smith. AR2, Pablo Casas. Those are the 3 that will be manning the match tonight. You talked to Coach Tyrone Marshall, as we did this week. He said after the Thursday loss to Inter Miami, they were disappointed from the loss. They came out and scored, that being Inter Miami, and they made some mental mistakes early. So for Cincinnati, because they've struggled on the road, yet to win a match on the road, they're undefeated 2-0-0. They've yet to lose when they've scored first this season, and because they came out weak against Inter Miami. It's so important for Cincinnati tonight to have a good first 15 minutes as some contact at midfield. And we'll try to get the number on who is down. Get a replay of the contact at midfield. In that Inter Miami match, Cincinnati was out-toughed, I guess you could say. Their opponents had 21 fouls, Cincinnati just 8. You could also say Cincinnati was much more disciplined, but the physicality became too much for them against Inter Miami. Counter-attack opportunity for Cincinnati. Little chip on the far side of the field, battle for the ball, and it rolls out of play. Last touch by Valenzuela. This June, MLS Next Pro is happy to celebrate Pride Month and support our LGBTQ fans and community. The beautiful game is for everyone. Ball back and forth at midfield, chip towards the top as Cincinnati FC tries to, or FC Cincinnati tries to time the run. It's turned back to Orlando City B. Also got to watch out for Jack Lynn. He's a big storyline for every match Orlando City plays. Their forward has 6 goals. He has 4 in his past 4 matches. Obviously did not score last weekend in the clean sheet loss. He had 3 in 3 matches against Cincinnati last year. And speaking of those matches last season between these two teams, even though they've both been pedestrian when it comes to offense this season, last year we saw a lot of fireworks. Pass in the box, chips toward the far post, up in the air, and it's cleared by the back line. It stays in play. Orlando City still in a dangerous spot. Almugar had it for a second, now back to Almugar. Chip to the sideline. Now on the foot of Shakur Mohammed. Mohammed, 1 goal this year, selected 2nd overall by Orlando City FC in the 2022 draft out of Drake. Watch out for him, number 14 on the far side. This one is on the foot of Williams. He tries to cross to his bit back in the middle. Solis, has it. The left-footed shot. It's kicked in the back line by Apononu, leading to a corner kick. Early pressure from Orlando City leads to their first corner. The fake from Solis getting the start tonight. Has excellent ability out of the back line to pass. He's listed as a defender playing midfield today. And an early corner for Orlando City. Trying to stay undefeated at home. They are first in the Central Division. And a corner from the home team, Orlando City 2. Dries fakes it, delivers up the middle. It's deflected and cleared to the center of the field. That may have been better for Cincinnati to just let that one go out of play. Dangerous crossing pass in the middle and knocked back to midfield. Couple opportunities for Orlando City, and Cincinnati turns them away. The possession has been dominated by the home team in these first 5+ minutes. It is a start of a favorable stretch for Orlando City. All 7 of their next matches are against teams lower than them in the standings in the Eastern Conference. Cincinnati, their best chance on the counter. Morgan Marshall with it on the far right side. Coach Marshall, no relation, says the offense starts with him. He leads the team in assists as it reversed over to the left. Orlando City really packs in that defense. Off the hip of the defender to Dado Valenzuela, who clears. Chip in the box. A dangerous pass to the right side, just a little in front of Marshall, and is cleared by Orlando City. Solis back to the middle. Contact, and it's knocked by Thomas on the foot of Solis. He tries to work the sideline, and it's redirected by the midfielder for Cincinnati. And now Ryder Mills, who scored the only goal against Inter Miami, his first touch, whereas number 75 in the middle. Just 18 years old. He's a player that's really coming into his own, and Cincinnati will throw in from the sideline. 66% of his shots have been on target. That one is high from Valenzuela. Dotto is known for his late match heroics, 2 match-winning goals this season. Got a shot at a look at the Valenzuela shot. Had it on his foot. There was a backline in front of him, a very difficult shot. And it sailed over the top of the crossbar. Backfield pressure from Cincinnati. They're a good early team. And Orlando City, we've documented their troubles in the first 15 minutes. If Cincinnati, who has not won a road match this year, has not scored a point in a road match this year, is going to come out on top. These first 15 minutes are where they can get the home team. Brett Halsey will deliver the corner kick, the first so far for Cincinnati. The 23-year-old from Sterling, Virginia, 3 assists. He has got an assist in the last 3 matches for Cincinnati. A lot of the offense starts with the defender Halsey. Instead of going towards the box, he delivers to Valenzuela. Valenzuela beats the defender and apparently pushed off. Kyle Johnson making the call, the first on Valenzuela. He says, no, I had my jersey held. Week 13 of the MLS Next Pro season. Orlando City be in 4th place in the Eastern Conference, but a win today and a couple losses, one from New England, another from New York Red Bulls. And they will move right into 2nd place. Cincinnati FC, they've had an up and down year at 3-5-3. They've been good at home, have struggled on the road. And a big question entering today, who can stop Jack Lynn, who had 3 goals against Cincinnati last year and has 4 in his past 4 matches. He's right at the center of your screen so far. Orlando City hasn't been able to find him about 10 minutes in. Dumped down to the corner of the box. It's cleared past the sideline. It'll be a long throw in for Orlando City. Talked to Coach Perlman, comparably to Coach Marshall for Cincinnati, who says, look, we like to get the ball wide, we like to push. Coach Perlman for Orlando City says, our most important topic is intensity. Intensity, when I speak about intensity, I speak about intensity on the ball. As you notice, when we asked him that question, he said intensity multiple times. Tries to play fast, beat teams with intensity and passes is the motto for Coach Perlman. Here's an intense move going towards the box from, that was Juninho, the team captain, as he put pressure on the back line and Cincinnati cleared. Muhammad turns off the ball to the sideline, crossing towards the middle, off the thigh of a defender, and a corner coming up for Orlando City. It's Orlando City right now dominating possession. Still no goal to show for it. Their 2nd corner coming in. Solis will take the corner, it looks like. Tough to tell, to be Solis or his teammate Medina. It is Medina to deliver, it's in the near post. And this one last touched by Orlando City. Just over 11 minutes into the match, no score. Possession so far controlled by Orlando City. Cincinnati does have 1 shot. Both teams aggressive to start. Orlando City has the best record in the Central Division, 4th in the Eastern Conference. Cincinnati is 4th in the Central. Active passing, rolls to the backfield. Marshall gave chase, was able to start the offense. Errant pass, intercepted by Freeman. And now the counterattack for FC Cincinnati. Apaonu showing off the speed, dumps off. Here's an opportunity in the middle for Stitz. Couldn't quite get it down on the one touch. Now the kick and the shot is saved. Javier Otero, the first difficult save of the evening. And he keeps it a scoreless tie. Off the foot from Morgan Marshall. Stitz had it in the box. Bit of a lucky bounce out to Marshall, and it was saved by Otero. Cincinnati putting pressure in the backfield on Orlando City. Both these teams are good passers. In fact, Cincinnati is third in the league in assists, and Orlando City is also a very crisp passing team. Each averages about 1.8 goals per game. Well, they're comparable in terms of their offense. Orlando City, despite their winning record, they've been outscored by 2 goals this season. FC Cincinnati by 4. Orlando City 21 goals scored, 23 against. 20 and 24 is a split for FC Cincinnati as Ryder takes it away, and now another counter opportunity for the road team. It rolls to the keeper, Otero. Recently called to play on the Venezuelan national team was Otero. He'll play in a pair of friendlies on June 15th and June 18th against Guatemala. Already has a save tonight. Looks like he's in top form for those matches. Stitz tumbles to the turf, a early foul on Orlando City. Something Cincinnati very used to, as on Thursday went off that physical match. 18 fouls were called against Inner City Miami. Thomas to the sideline. Little touch and go at midfield. Stitz, one of their leading goal scorers. Passes behind his target. And cleared in the backfield, and a foul is called on Orlando City on the counterattack attempt. Brett Halsey on the ground as the defender made contact. I believe that was Shakur Muhammad running pass. Muhammad, there we go, got his number. Those are 2 players to watch tonight. Halsey, one of the team's best passers, 3 assists for Cincinnati, and Shakur Muhammad, top pick in the 2022 MLS draft. In the box, turning, chipping, and it's cleared. Still in a dangerous spot, though. FC Cincinnati has had a couple of opportunities. Past the target at midfield and a turnover. Petrasso, who just was called up, able to get a foot on it and make life tough for FC Cincinnati back on that offensive end. Little chip ahead from Juninho. The road team FC Cincinnati waiting for it. We've mentioned the road record for FC Cincinnati. No wins. They do have 1 draw, so I misspoke. They have 2 points, 3 losses, so no wins, though. No clean wins. 1 in 4 teams in the league without a win away from home. Can they get their first one here? We're past the 15-minute mark. That's typically where, if Orlando City's going to fall behind, that's when it happens. And last year, FC Cincinnati has. The players get tangled up at midfield. Matt Adrias going down. These teams split a pair of matches last year and tied in another. Of course, this portion of the match is brought to you by Orlando Health. Choose well, Orlando Health. Little touch ahead. Now the foot of Solis. Some confusion. You can see Malguer asking from the reset, the cross back to the middle. FC Cincinnati tries to clear, and it'll be another corner kick, the third one coming up for Orlando City. The only draw that these two teams played to happened right here in Kissimmee. Last year's 3-game series between FC Cincinnati 2 and Orlando City B produced a total of 16 goals, including the Orange and Blues' 5-3 win on the road on May 29th last season. So Cincinnati has already won here one time. They played to a draw the second time. Orlando City trying to get on top here in the first half. Pass to the middle of the field, and it will be another corner, yes. So corner number 4 for Orlando City. So Cincinnati has some confidence. They played here twice last year, 1-1, and ended in a draw in the second. Might get the same play here as the ball goes to the top. 50-50 ball in the box, double hit. The kick is over the crossbar. A difficult shot from Alex Freeman. Back in the starting lineup this week. He is second on the team in goals with 3, almost picked up number 4. You can see Freeman just waiting down by that right post. The double header just went over the top. Juninho, almost an incredible assist. Dangerous cross move by Cincinnati. Thankfully for them, it was clean, and now they work quickly. An offense that likes to push. You talk to Coach Marshall, he says, look, we want to go fast. We want to start from the outside and try to set our goal scorers, Ryder Mills and Ben Stitz up in the middle. Probably the biggest story this season so far for Cincinnati has been the loss of Archimedes Ordonez. He led the team in goals, had 4 very early in the season before getting called up to the MLS level. And since then, players like Ryder Mills, the young 18-year-old, and Ben Stitz have been asked to do a lot. They've been pretty good, combined with 4 goals this season. Of course, even when your big goal scorer, your forward right in the middle of the field where your offense funnels to, goes to the next level, it doesn't just come down to the guys that replace him. The whole team has to step up, and you have players like Morgan Marshall, Dado Valenzuela, Brett Halsey that all have to contribute in the passing game and try to set those guys up the best they can. As Steven Jimenez, who Coach Marshall says will see a lot more playing time going forward, is whistled for the foul. 20 minutes in, the best opportunity came about 10 minutes in, a shot on goal that was saved by Javier Otero, the keeper for Orlando City. This might be a chance for the home team, and an offsides flag goes up. The far side official, I believe that is Jeremy Smith with the call. Windy match, temperatures in the low 90s, sunny day in Kissimmee, Florida, but you can hear that wind in the microphone. It appears to be blowing, if I'm looking at that flag correctly, there from right to left across the field. So Cincinnati going into it. Orlando City has the win at their back. Game between a team that hasn't lost at home this year in Orlando City and a team that hasn't won on the road in Cincinnati. Will both of those potentially be broken today? They would if the road team gets the victory. Counterattack chance for Orlando City. They've controlled the time of possession battle. They like to work more methodically compared to their counterparts today. Muhammad on the sideline. Kibinguchi goes back to midfield. On the foot of Solis, chip towards the box. This is going to be out of play. It would have likely been offsides had it not gone too far. Apaonu was beat, but it appeared to maybe have been offsides. You've seen the versatility in the attack for Orlando City. They can score in a number of ways. They have the ability to get inside the box. They're good off corners, and then you'll see them try those chip passes in the attacking third, something you don't see too often. Use that speed to try to get a quick goal. We have yet to see Jack Lynn really get a good touch on the balls. FC Cincinnati doing a great job putting pressure on him, making life tough for the leading goal scorer. Now they try to work on the offensive end. Moving to his left is Halsey. Halsey trying to fire. It's knocked out by Otero. Another good goal play by Otero. I don't think Halsey had an angle to score, but it still prevented a potential disaster for Orlando City. Valenzuela back to the middle. Now the counter opportunity. You see Jack Lynn, number 27, in the middle of the field. Petrasso, he's looking for Lynn. The defense collapses on him. And now a reset back to the middle of the field to Junino. Medina reverses field. Lynn and Muhammad inside the box. Muhammad, number 14, comes out, takes the pass. Circling around and retreats to Junino. Junino back to midfield as Orlando City slows down the tempo. Now here is Lynn to Muhammad. A rare touch for Lynn. Back to the goal scorer. He's got 5 orange jerseys around him. And FC Cincinnati clears it out there on the counter. Ryder Mills sends it to the sideline. The strategy is clear for FC Cincinnati. We have got to keep it off the foot of one of the best goal scorers in the league in Jack Lynn. This portion of the match is brought to you by Exploria. Explore more and vacation better with Exploria Resorts. Those always sound so nice. Over the top pass. Headed to the back and calmly scooped up by the keeper Paul Walters, who hasn't been tested too often today. Taking over as number 1 goalkeeper after one match last year, Northwestern product. This might be a test for Walters. The chip to the right, and the goal is finished by none other than Jack Lynn. And Orlando City takes the lead 1-0. Jack Lynn, goal number 7 this season. He has 5 in the team's past 5 matches. He's got 4 against Cincinnati in the past 4 matches. And Orlando City has the lead 25 minutes in. Just as we say, Paul Walters hasn't been tested. Jack Lynn found a crease in the beautiful touch to the upper corner to finish off the play. So the strike 25 minutes in for Orlando City. And once again, Cincinnati will play from behind. As only twice this year, they have scored the first goal. Contact at midfield, taken away by Orlando City. Back to Jack Lynn, over to Muhammad, touching the box to Lynn. Against the defender, it's cleared out. Muhammad and Lynn, a dangerous combo. Both excellent on ball. Those two up top are tough to defend. A goal in the 25th minute from Lynn. His 7th this year, and he is starting to become a real candidate for the Golden Boot. He entered today tied for 4th, so I guess with that moves into 4th by himself. Coach Coach Perlman says he's got a great mindset. He's a really good goal scorer, obviously. Off to the races is Orlando City. Chipped off the back line. It leads to corner kick number 5 for the home team. As you can feel the home purple start to grab this match by the horns. They've been the aggressors over the past 10 minutes and now lead by 1. See how long Jack Lynn stays in MLS Next Pro. He's been so good, and when you see guys improve at this rate, that's what you want if you're a coach. High ball in the middle, dangerous spot, and rolled towards the sideline by Apanuno. As Apanuno makes the smart play to force the throw in from Orlando City. Petrasso throws in. Rolled to the back, and Thomas Williams, haven't talked about him, the 19-year-old from Titusville, Florida. Picked up 3 yellow cards this year. He's been aggressive. Coach Perlman said, look, we like his style of play, needs to clean it up just a bit. And he has over the past few weeks. Orlando City, another chance. It ricochets off the back foot of Apabono. A battle towards the corner. Freeman. Great to see him back in the starting lineup. Mohamed resets in the middle. Solis works against the defender. Fakes to his left, to his right, back to his left, trying to create space, a little bit of contact. And Marshall is whistled for the foul. Solis showing off the footwork. He's got that shifty left to right combo, trying to go back left. Arms got tangled up with the defender. And a free kick from a tough spot. If you're the defense to decide how you want to play it. Juninho, the captain, with Solis to decide who takes it. Juninho to kick. Juninho the shot. Juninho puts Orlando City up 2-0. His first goal this year. The midfielder from Brazil, Juninho, takes it himself over the line and found the high left corner. You know, you see Juninho, you can tell by the body language that he was thinking pass first, and then says, you know what? I have some room in the upper left, and put it right down the middle. So Orlando City some space, 2-0. And Cincinnati has to answer some questions now as they have work to do. Juninho. This goes by one name. That's all you need for the captain. Now has 1 goal and 2 assists this season. As FC Cincinnati talks it over. So the road team, Cincinnati, has had some opportunities. They've put pressure on Javier Otero, the keeper for Orlando City. As we're looking at a water break. Over 90 degrees, that is required 30 minutes in. So what do you do differently if you're FC Cincinnati too? Well, I think you think about those plays that worked, and you say, okay, how can we repeat those? Like Coach Marshall has talked about, they started on the outside, they worked with pace, and then were able to get back to the middle once they worked their way to the box. And if you are Orlando City, that was a tough loss last week. They got shut out, clean sheeted by Toronto 3-0. You wanted to come out and answer the bell tonight. You're undefeated at home. Your opponents have not won this year on the road. And you're thinking, okay, we need to come out and take care of business. We got to do it early. Orlando City put pressure in the first 15 minutes, and they've come up with 2 goals in the second 15. Great to have you with us on this Sunday evening. Week 13 of the MLS Next Pro season. Orlando City is in 4th place in the tight Eastern Conference, just a couple points behind 2nd and 3rd. Cincinnati's in 10th place. They can very easily move up, though, in the standings. A tough trip for FC Cincinnati. They were in Miami on Thursday, and they have to come back and play now in Kissimmee, Florida against Orlando City. So 2 matches within a span of about 4 days under the hot Florida sun in mid-June. It's a challenging stretch for FC Cincinnati. A team that got off to a quick start and saw their best goal scorer, Archimedes Ordonez, get promoted to the MLS roster. He's already seen some solid playing time in 4 matches. And now other guys are learning their role on the team. They like to work quickly, already have had a couple shots on goal. Let's see what they can do here, down 2-0. Crossing to the middle from Marshall. He was looking for Ryder Mills, and it leads to a corner. This portion of the match is brought to you by Walt Disney World, the most magical place on earth. FC Cincinnati 2 looking for some magic from the corner kick. Brett Halsey to deliver, one of their better passers. He comes up short to Ryder. As Mills sends it back just outside the box, the crossing pass is popped up in the air, spins wildly towards the box, and Orlando City will work to run it down, and they do as Muhammad gets tangled up on the sideline with Jimenez. Apanonu comes out and helps. Looks like Jimenez is okay, may have got a shoulder to the face in that fight for the soccer ball on the sideline. Dump off from Lynn to Mohammed, backtracks to Medina. They set up on the right side, crossing pass way over the top of everybody. But I think that was likely a shot, and it goes out of play. A 2-goal lead for Orlando City. Jack Lynn scored about 15 minutes in, and then at the 28-minute mark, a set play goal from Juninho, his first this season, just outside the box on the left side. Past the midfield, off the shoulder of Juninho. It'll be a throw-in for FC Cincinnati. Marshall to deliver. Kai Thomas reversing field. The left side is where Ryder Mills is positioned. He's been their top goal scorer over the past few weeks. Haven't heard a lot from Ben Stitz so far, the midfielder who has 3 goals this season. Valenzuela to the sideline, Foster. Stolen by Orlando City, then turned back away. Apanonu in the backfield. Nice little through ball, knocked out of play. Chip towards the back. Lynn trying to turn, and now he's got a head of steam. Lynn dumps off from the box, a little bit too strong for Petrasso, his crossing pass is finished. And Orlando City leads 3-0. Shakur Mohammed puts the home team up. And they have broken it open with 37 minutes in. It looked like it was going to be too far for Petrasso. He was able to get a foot on it before it went out of play, and he found Shakur Mohammed on the right post. Here it is again. It started with Jack Lynn. Just enough backspin, and the setup was perfect, and Mohammed finished off the play. That is his second goal this year. And it is 3-0 Orlando City.
In the 38th minute of play.
So it is all Orlando City against FC Cincinnati. The tough trip, we've talked about it for the road team. Back-to-back matches in Florida against two talented rosters within about 4 days. You look at this schedule and you think this is probably the part that's going to be the most challenging, and it's proving to be so. A 3-1 loss to Inter Miami, and now they're down 3-0 in the first half to Orlando City. But last year, a lot of goals scored in between these two teams in 3 matchups. 16 to be exact in 3 matches. Lynn ahead of the pack once again. Pass to the middle. The header is just over the top of the crossbar. And Paul Walters may have got a fingertip on it. It was actually Petrasso on the delivery. Beautiful pass right to the middle. Mohammed tried to head it in just a little bit too high. I think it would have gone off the crossbar had Walters not tapped it with his fingertips, but better safe than sorry. And it'll be a corner kick for Orlando City. Corner kick coming up for the home team, number 6 today. It's a slow roller to Medina. He sets up in the middle. The pass towards the box, ricochets. Petrasso to Lynn on the right foot. The shot is left, and it may have been deflected by Walters. And another corner coming up. That is we'll see if that's a save for Walters or is blocked by the back line. Lynn just missing his second goal in this half. I think that might have been a save by Walters as able to get his left leg on it. Another corner coming up. The fake from Medina. The high ball to the far side. Mohammed. Apanonu defending him tightly. Mohammed tries to shake him off. Cannot, and it'll lead to a throw-in. Shakur Mohammed has been very active today. Already a goal, nearly an assist. Jack Lynn a goal. He opened the scoring. And Juninho, the captain for Orlando City, off the set piece, scored about 30 minutes in. As we approach the 42nd minute, important to note, the last 2 goals by FC Cincinnati have come in the 42nd minute, so this is the time where they're usually most active offensively. Scoring right before halftime, maybe they can get that momentum here in Kissimmee, Florida. Orlando City being passive with the ball. Ryder Mills had it for a second, and it rolled out of play. It's going to be a throw-in for FC Cincinnati. Mills battling with the defender, couldn't quite keep it in play. It'll be a goal kick for Orlando City. Trying to remain undefeated at home this season, Orlando City B. FC Cincinnati 2 trying to pick up their first road win. Big storyline could The orange and blue stop Jack Lynn. Well, he's got an early goal. He now has 7 this year and 5 in his past 5 matches. You figured Cincinnati would come out with a lot of pressure, and they did. Orlando City was able to weather that storm, including an early save. Here's a dangerous pass that was stolen. Some strong pressure by the road team in the backfield. Chip towards the sideline and a throw-in coming up for Cincinnati. You get the feeling that Cincinnati, if they can get a goal here, they go into halftime confident, thinking, all right, it is at least a match. A score would go a long way. They'll have the wind at their backs in the second half, another aspect to consider. A misread leads to the turnover. Orlando City scored at the 14-minute mark. Jack Lynn, his 7th goal this season. Juninho scored at about the 30-minute mark, and then about 5 minutes later, a goal from Shakur Mohammed accounts for the scoring in this first half. Lynn scored at 25 minutes, I should correct myself, and then at 30 for Juninho, and then at the 36-minute mark for Shakur Mohammed. Petrasso to the middle. Mohammed had it for a second. Cincinnati cleared, but not out of danger yet, and the deep shot goes in, and Orlando City's up 4-0. Emmanuel Almagar, his first goal this season. And it is 4-0. The lead for Orlando City as they have broken this wide open. He's been a steady starter all year for Orlando City B. He started all 11 matches, flourishing after 10 years in the North Texas FC and FC Dallas North system. He's getting an opportunity with Orlando City B. He started every match and now has his first goal. And if you're FC Cincinnati, you just want to get to halftime, regroup, and come out and play the hardest that you can in the second half and see what happens, because right now, it's all home team. 4-0, Orlando City B. That's their 3rd goal since the 29-minute mark.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 4th official has indicated that there will be a minimum of 2 minutes of added time.
2 minutes of bonus time. You probably heard that from the PA announcer. Tiptoeing up the sideline, Valenzuela. The Boca Raton native will reset. And you feel for FC Cincinnati, back-to-back matches in Florida, warm conditions against 2 good offensive teams. It's a challenging stretch. The positive is it's still early in the year. I know we're in June, but there's a lot of time left in the season. You learn from a stretch like this, and it makes you tougher. A through ball in a dangerous spot. Orlando City tries to cross, and it goes off the foot of Isaiah Foster. It actually went back off an Orlando City player. Nice job there by Foster, reliable backline defender who leads the team in tackles and second in interceptions. Maybe one more chance here for FC Cincinnati. A foul at midfield. Thomas Williams to push in the back. Halsey works in the defender, back to his left foot, attempting to create space. Remember, only 2 minutes of added time as the clock ticks towards that now. And this will likely lead to the whistle, and it does, from Kyle Johnson. Orlando City controls the first half. They scored 3 goals in the last 16 minutes to lead 4-0 at the half. The home team looks like they're in good shape to keep that undefeated home streak alive. Our score at the half is Orlando City B 4, FC Cincinnati 2. Major League Soccer and RCX Sports have launched MLS Go, a groundbreaking recreational soccer program. Boys and girls aged 4 to 14 can now experience a fun, affordable, and local soccer journey. This fall, MLS Go debuts in 18 markets, expanding access to the sport. You can go to MLSGo.com for more information. We'll have highlights and stats from our first half coming up, but first let's look back at a busy match day 11. Michelle and Samara take us through it in this week's edition of the Match Day Rewind.
It's hard to believe, but we are already into June of our MLS Next Pro season. Michelle Montaigne here with Samara Perez, recapping the biggest storylines from Match Day 11.
We have to start with the team that broke the league's all-time undefeated record, Rapids 2. They reached 11 games unbeaten following a heroic 2-goal comeback against Quakes 2. Dauda Amadu found the equalizer in the dying seconds of the game off a corner kick. Minutes earlier, Yosuke Hania put them back in the game after burying a PK, which moved him up as the solo lead of the Golden Boot race with 8 on the season. As for the team's record-setting run, Coach Boucher considers it a successful feat.
The players deserve credit for that. They've done something that in the very, very short history of this league has not been done. Brilliant.
And speaking of streaks, NYC FC2 is on a 3-game win streak of their own. This winning stretch is the longest for the club, dating back to late June/early July of last year. Despite going down 3-0 to start the game against Huntsville City FC, NYC FC2 posted 4 consecutive goals, including a second-half brace by Matt Myers to complete the 4-3 comeback thriller. Following the match, Matt Pilkington explained just how they were able to do it.
The main thing we talked about was our identity, and then we got away from that first half. We just talked about our identity, just get back to our identity, which was, we want the ball, we want to play with the ball, share the ball, move the ball.
Turning the page, we've got a team that ended its 8-game winless run. Fire 2 surged over Crew 2 with 4 different players scoring in their 4-2 win, the first one since March. Takeaways from the game include Academy player Justin Reynolds scoring his first professional goal and midfielder Harold Osorio recording a hat-trick of assists, upping his total to 4 on the season, which is tied for second most in the league.
Another team with 4 different players finding the back of the net in their win, Red Bulls 2. After dropping a Monday match to OCB, Red Bulls 2 got back to their winning ways with an emphatic 4-1 win over Northeastern foe Revolution 2 in a top 3 Eastern Conference showdown. Academy product Julian Hall had an outstanding contribution that included a goal just 4 minutes into the match, while Ibrahim Kasul scored in his 3rd straight game.
With Matchday 11 now in the books, we look forward to more action this weekend. Michelle and I will see you back here with the top moments from Matchday 12.
Thank you, Samara and Michelle, for that report. It's 4-0. Orlando City is leading FC Cincinnati 2 at the half. Now let's shine the light on the best that Weekday 11 had to offer as Michelle takes us into the spotlight. Michelle had a chance to meet with Columbus Crew's Marco Micheletto. The 27-year-old midfielder was born in Italy and raised in England. Let's meet the 5th-year pro.
Hey guys, it's Michelle with MLS Next Pro. We're back with Matchday 11's Spotlight. Kicking things off for us is your MLS Next rising star. It is North Texas SC's Anthony Ramirez. The honor comes following his spectacular performance against LA Galaxy 2. In just his 5th appearance with the club, he helped lead them to their 5th win of the season. He notched his first professional brace and did it within a span of 6 minutes. The MLS Next Pro player of Matchday 11 with a similarly impressive performance, posting 2 goals in just 2 minutes. Atlanta United 2's Nick Firmino earns the player of Matchday 11 honor. His brace and 1 assist added to Atlanta's 5-0 win over Inter Miami 2, posting the biggest goal differential of the match day. Firmino now ranks 2nd among all MLS Next Pro top goal scorers with 7 total goals on the season. And speaking of goals, the best goal of Matchday 11 goes to Crew 2's Isaiah Parente. Parente finds the back of the net off a free kick that sails past an entire wall of defenders and past Fire 2's keeper. The goal also came in the last moments of extra time to cut the goal differential in half, earning 41% of the votes for Matchday 11. As for this week's team in the spotlight, that goes to a very deserving New York Red Bulls 2. After their 4-1 victory over one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference, Revs 2, Red Bulls 2 earned their 4th win in 5 games. Getting things started just 4 minutes into the match was Academy standout Julian Hall, who at just 15 years old became the youngest goal scorer ever in team history. The team now sits in 3rd place in the Eastern Conference. A full week of play, a full list of honorees in the spotlight. We'll see you back here soon.
Thank you, Michelle. I got a little bit ahead of myself there. Let's now go back to Michelle as she had a chance to meet with Columbus Crew's Marco Micheletto. As I mentioned, 27-year-old midfielder, born in Italy, raised in England, incredible life story. Now a 5th-year pro. Let's meet him.
MLS Next Pro, Michelle Montaigne here with the real Eminem, Marco Micheletto. Cappy, thank you so much for sitting down with us. A long time coming on this interview.
Thanks for having me on. Yeah, absolutely.
Marco, we have to start with what people really care about, with capybaras. Now, after you guys won the Cup last season, you said if you guys had the success that you wanted, after having visited them in person at the zoo last season, that it might become tradition that you have to go see the capybaras. So, my question, is that tradition in place? Are there any plans? What can we expect to see?
Yeah, no, that's a good reminder. I think judging by our last couple of games, you can tell that we haven't gone to see them. So I think a visit to the capybaras is due in very short time.
Roberts with the run of Micheletto. Marco Micheletto scores! A brilliant ball over the top, and the captain puts it away. Columbus Crew 2 on the board first.
You also mentioned previously that it takes a lot to build an elite environment versus just having a talented roster of players. What makes that difference come to life?
It's so many different things that a lot of it goes to do what you do from Monday through Friday. You know, what you see on the weekend is just kind of the end product, but it's what happens day to day, and more so even what happens outside of the training facility. It's how willing are the lads to get together and go out for dinner, or throw a grill out together, or just have each other's back off the field. And then once you build those relationships off the field, that's when you can start seeing the benefits on the field. The staff creates an environment for us where we don't really have many easy days or off days. And that's what you want. You want to be tested, you want to be challenged. I got out of a film session where I got shown about 7 or 8 clips of just me and being told about all my touches not being the ones that they should have been, you know? And it's humbling. You need to have that ego check. You need to be able to accept that feedback.
For you specifically, I think you've said previously that you kind of consider yourself a role player. So when you're on the pitch, if you could take us like into Marco Micheletto's mind, you're running up the field, you have JR out to your left, or this season Gibran. What's going through your mind when you're out there?
Oh, not a lot. You see, it's I tell you what, this year is a little bit of a different challenge for me. I think I have to lean into more the fact that I have to lead this team a little bit more. I've never really seen myself as a captain. I said it numerous times last year. I said, I don't do anything. I just wear the armband. These lads lead themselves. I'm just here just to smile and wave when I get asked to, you know. But this year's different. This year we've got younger lads that they do look up to me, whether I like it or not. They look at my behaviour, and you know, I always tell them, get what you want and also make sure you don't do everything I do. You know what I mean? But I have to hold myself accountable to try and set the example all the time. So there's a lot of that. It's finding the right balance between one, trying to transfer the message that the coaching staff want, kind of almost be an addition to them onto the field. Try to communicate, keep the lads into the game, manage the moments of the game for the whole team, but at the same time, like I'm my own player, I have to also just do my role for the team, and I have to trust my teammates to do their job for the team. So yeah, it's that balance. How much do you lead? How much do you talk? How much do you worry about him? And how much do you just say, hold on, like, let me take care of this thing on my game, because he's going to be all right to take care of his, you know?
You own one of the maybe more exciting records in all of MLS Next Pro. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, most lost possessions. I don't know. What is it?
No, it's actually fastest goal ever in MLS Next Pro.
Yeah.
Remember that one?
Yeah, of course. Listen, and this is a clear example of it. Like, I get the credit for it. I didn't do anything. I just ran and kicked the ball. It was set up in the training ground. It was just everybody around me did their task, and I just ran, and the ball was there, and I just kicked it in. So it was cool. Yeah.
Do you know how long it was?
9 seconds.
That's
yeah.
impressive.
Yeah. I do remember that one.
Awesome. All right, well, before we let you go, I want to go through a quick little rapid fire questionnaire with you. Is that cool?
Let's do it.
All right. First one, maybe the hardest one of them all. Which one's harder, regulation PKs or shootout kicks from the spot?
Regulation.
Best color Gatorade?
Blue.
Favorite sport other than soccer?
Golf. Formula 1's pretty cool, but yeah, golf. I'm terrible at it, but I like playing it.
All right, last one. 3 words to describe Cappy.
Can I, look at the state of this. That's my head coach. I would say passionate, committed, and very blessed.
Well, we are very blessed to have had you here with us today. Thank you so much for the time, Marco.
No, thank you, and thank you for having me, and I've really enjoyed our chat.
Fun interview there from Michelle. Nicely done. Marco Micheletto. Maybe we can play 9 sometime. Marco, if you're awful, then we're probably on the same page, because I'm in that same boat. Okay, let's have a look at the upcoming schedule. Some fun matches on Wednesday. You see New England Revolution against New York City Football Club 2. That'll be an exciting matchup. Yesterday was a good one. 2-0 win for Timbers 2 over North Texas SC. And a handful of exciting matchups, including the first place in the Eastern Conference, Crown Legacy FC, in action later on this week. It was all Orlando City B. Jack Lynn finally got on the board 25 minutes in to break the scoreless tie for Lynn. It is goal number 7. He's got 5 in his past 5 matches. How about this shot? The captain, Junie Neo, everybody's thinking, is he going to pass to Lynn? He's going to look to the right side of Muhammad. Instead, he takes it and bends it in the upper left corner. Junie Neo, his first goal this season. Thought maybe the scoring would be done. Nope, that would not be the case. 7 minutes later, Muhammad off the crossing pass from Petrasso. Gorgeous kick to the left corner. That one had by far the highest degree of difficulty. Shakur Muhammad, goal number 2 for number 14 this season. And just to add to it for Orlando City, the first goal of the year for Almagar, takes it from the outside, bends it with the left foot on the left corner, a gorgeous shot through the back line, past the keeper Walters. And it is Orlando City leading 4-0 at halftime. Can Cincinnati respond? You can see that possession battle completely dominated by the home team. Their shots 15-4. Those numbers kind of tell you all you need to know right there. Orlando City 2 leading, Orlando City B, up 4-0 as we start the second half. Great to have you with us in Kissimmee, Florida. We were scoreless until the 25-minute mark, and then 4 goals in 22 minutes for Orlando City to give themselves a comfortable lead at halftime. Let's see if FC Cincinnati 2 can put something together here in the second half. Maybe get a couple scores, build some confidence. Their schedule gets a little bit easy over the next few weeks. Tough road trip here in Florida. Lost 3-1 to Inter Miami, and now down 4-0 just in the start of the second half against Orlando City B. And for Orlando City, they had a full week to rest, had a chance to wash off that clean sheet against Toronto too, and they have come out and looked focused from the get-go today. Stoppage in midfield will be a throw-in coming up for Cincinnati. The positive for the road team, the orange and blue, they have the wind at their backs in this second half. You can see those flags. Looks like they may have actually shifted. Now left to right. Let's look at that replay. So Steven Jimenez looks like he was whistled for the call. Got a double check on the final call there on Jimenez. Almagar, who scored his first goal this season in the first half, dumps off to Muhammad, who also scored. It was his second. All on the sideline, on the foot of Alex Freeman. Didn't start in the loss last week against Toronto, too. His presence has been felt. A sub at half for Cincinnati. Ben Stitz didn't call his name a whole lot. Their top goal scorer this year comes out. Salim Adams is in. He does have a goal coming off the bench for the second time this year. Fancy footwork from Muhammad. Tries to cross back to the middle. It goes off the back line. It was actually Solis putting the pressure on, and it leads to a corner kick. Orlando City B trying to add on, leading 4-0 against FC Cincinnati 2. They are right now in 4th place in the Eastern Conference. They are well on their way to 3 points and can potentially move up those standings. Deep kick, left side, header is right into the chest of the keeper Walters. He's thankful for that after having a challenging first half, and it's tough to stop balls when they're hit as well, when they're struck as well as Orlando City was doing in that first half. Every one of them were in that upper left corner, just tough to take care of. Here's Ryder Mills, backtracks, puts the ball on his foot now on the sideline. FC Cincinnati has had that positive tempo, especially after just playing 4 days ago in the Florida Heat down in Miami. Apanonu had trouble. Now Walters clears to the near side. Quick pass up the field. It is always tough, especially when you're on the road, to play a team that's had a full week off and you've only had 4 days. That does make a difference. We saw FC Cincinnati come out the first 25 minutes. They had that energy. And then Orlando City B, 4 goals over the past 22 minutes in that first half to open things up. Orlando City has not lost at home this season. Through ball in a dangerous spot. It's chased down by the back line and cleared to Walters, who chips back over to Isaiah Foster, the Frederick, Maryland native, just 19 years old. Number 33 for the orange and blue. Dangerous spot. Halsey tries to turn and clear. It's actually Salim Adams, excuse me. As he rolls to the sideline and is taken back by Orlando City B. Both these teams have great pace in the way they play. It's evident in the numbers. They're two of the better passing teams in the league, accuracy-wise. Orlando City's right at the top, and then Cincinnati FC is third in the league in assists. Whenever you have a couple teams that are so efficient with the soccer ball, it leads to a clean match, and we've seen some good passing today, some acrobatics with the soccer ball, including right there from, that was Solis putting it on his chest. Now the back pass to Solis. He waits for his teammate to come, chip shot up in the air, header goes wide. And race for the ball on the sideline. Halsey trying to turn, and it will be a goal kick. Coach Tyrone Marshall for Cincinnati told his team at the half, he's like, look, you're down 4-0, but you got to remember, you want to have a good showing. You want to keep up. You want to try to at least make this a matchup maybe in the second, build some momentum to next week. But at the same time, all these players, Steven Jimenez moving quickly up the field, want to have good numbers, but to show, hey, we belong at the next level. And this is the chance to do it. Dangerous crossing pass. I think sometimes that anybody who's a former athlete, really at any level, can relate, I think, to the thought of being down big and just playing the game. You know, even though you're losing, it's still fun to go out there and play. If you're a parent or someone who's close to one of the athletes, you want to see them do well. Obviously, still plenty to play for in these next 38 minutes or so. Deep shot from, that was Salim Adams giving it a go. He's got a strong leg. On loan from his local team in Ghana. Adams earlier this year scored his only goal of the season at Gillette Stadium. He could be a kicker for the Patriots with that type of leg. He represents Ghana in the U23 African Cup. Such an incredible honor. Just 20 years old himself, a lot of potential. Montero, high kick to midfield, 50-50 ball. Adams put pressure on the back end, is whistled for the foul. He's in for Ben Stitz, who started the match. Stitz, bit of a quiet day, who has been working his way through this organization, earned a spot in a preseason trial after being drafted 31st by DC United. Didn't have his most active day, the midfielder for Cincinnati. He's out in this second half. Selena Adams is in, who picks up the foul. Kibunguchi, haven't called his name too much. Number 54 for Orlando City. That's usually a good thing when you're a defensive player. Ball to midfield. Positive pressure put on by Matt Dries. Solis showing off the fancy footwork, crossing, ran into a defender, no call. On the foot of Dries, the chip to the middle of the field, a little bit too strong for Dado Valenzuela. And the kick goes back to Otero. Goes past the back line. Apanonu chases it down. The Toledo, Ohio native, FC Cincinnati's first round selection in the recent MLS draft. Feel like he's going to make his way up to the pro team at some point soon. Through ball towards the left corner. And turned away by Orlando City. Strong defensive possession. The back line hasn't been tested a whole lot since those first 25 minutes when this was very much an even match when it came to shots on goal. In fact, it was the keeper for Orlando City, Otero, who had to make the first save of the match, as Freeman lets his teammates catch up to him. Puts it on his left foot. Isaiah Foster gives chase, forces the bad pass. Stolen by Apanonu. Now the counter for Cincinnati. Circling back around Jimenez. Whips it back to Foster. And he'll reset to the keeper, Walters, who sends it high in the sky. Ooh, and a collision in midfield. As that was Kimunguchi. Wanted to double check. That was number 54, Kimunguchi, who made contact with the FC Cincinnati player, Jimenez, who is loading it up. Pardon me, that's actually Morgan Marshall. 19-year-old talented defensive player, 4 assists. Confusion in midfield as Kyle Johnson, who's done a strong job, the head official today, tries to sort out the complication. Orlando City in strong shape to remain undefeated at home this year. Jack Lynn, the big headline today, goal number 7. He's got 5 goals in the past 5 matches. Both teams trying to get back on the winning track after giving up 3 goals this past week. Toronto 2 clean sheeted Orlando City B. Won 3-0 last weekend. So the home team has had an entire week, traveled back from Canada, practiced this week, rested up, and they were ready for FC Cincinnati 2. Deep kick, and the save is made by Walters. Leaning to his right, another difficult save for Walters, and he makes this one. FC Cincinnati lost 3-1 to Inter Miami on Thursday. They had to turn back right around and travel to Kissimmee, Florida, go north to take on Orlando City B. A challenging road stretch. They'll have a couple home opportunities coming up. That is the positive news as Halsey weaves in between traffic into the box. A chance here for Valenzuela, and it's taken away by Orlando City. Spin at midfield. Muhammad. He's got a teammate racing up the sideline. That's where the ball goes, just outside the box. A dangerous spot here for Almaguer, who scored in the first half his first goal this year, and now touched it out of play off the foot of Lynn. Couple subs coming in for Orlando City. Temperatures above 90 degrees. It's humid here in central Florida. Luca Petrasso gets a nice hand. His pass led to the 3rd goal of that first half. Helped out on that goal to Muhammad as he checks out.
Also leaving the game is number 27, Jack Lynn.
And Jack Lynn will check out. A rare break for him. Franco Perez, the defender from Uruguay, is in. His 4th game played this year. Hasn't played since week 3. That was April 9th, so we're seeing Perez for the first time. Native of Uruguay, he is in for Jack Lynn. Got to remember that Inter Miami committed 18 fouls against Cincinnati, so they're not just coming off as here's maybe a chance for the road team. A dangerous spot, an opportunity. The kick off the left foot is high from Valenzuela. Cincinnati not only has to play their second match in 4 days, they were bumped and bruised against Inter Miami for 18 fouls. As Petrasso is out, Perez is in for Orlando. It was a yellow card earlier in the half. I wanted to double back on that, on Jimenez. I never mentioned, so he picked up one to start the second half. On that foul, it's the only yellow we've seen so far. Here is a chance for Orlando City. Muhammad off to the races, slams on the brakes, puts it back to Tablante. Moises Tablante just checked in. Brings it back out to Almaguer. The fake pass. Now the kickback. While we have a moment, this portion of the match is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Appreciate Ford for contributing and being a sponsor of MLS Next Pro. On the counterattack, here's Valenzuela. Rolls it to the sideline in Jimenez. Jimenez stops in the pocket. The fake from Halsey. Brett Halsey is one of those guys that can really help out any team. Excellent backline player, the 7th pick in the 2021 MLS Super Draft. Stolen on the other end by Orlando City B. Counterattack opportunity at midfield and taken right back by Morgan Marshall, the 19-year-old. Good hustle to make a play. And it rolls past the sideline and it'll be a Cincinnati throw-in. Handful of subs coming in for FC Cincinnati. That's what you would expect. About half hour left in this match. Orlando City B as well. We're going to see a lot of bench players today.
Ladies
Don't
and
get
gentlemen,
a ton of action.
Substitutions for FC Cincinnati 2 in the 62nd minute. Leading the game is number 40, Kai Thomas. He's replaced by number 60, David Garcia. Also leading the game is number 37.
David Garcia is in.
Jimenez. He's replaced by number 55, Daryl Tercios.
Jimenez is out. Daryl Tercios is in, number 55, making his 7th appearance this year for FC Cincinnati 2. And a pair of substitutions coming in for Orlando City as well. So Daryl Tercios
Ladies and gentlemen,
is
we have
in.
2 substitutions for OCP in the 65th minute.
David Garcia is as well. He's making his 7th appearance.
Leading the game is number 65, Christian Medina. He's replaced by number 59, Alejandro Granados.
Looks like we have Zakaria Taifi, excuse me, is coming in. And Alejandro Granados is in as well for Orlando.
Zakaria Taifi.
So Zakaria Taifi is in. Alejandro Granados is in. Granados just making his 5th appearance this year, does have an assist. And Taifi has seen action in every game so far. Usually it's when he comes off the bench. He only has 4 starts, so that's common for Taifi to come in here. 17-year-old, seen his first action in about 2 weeks, so he's played every game up until 2 weeks ago. Now getting a look on the pitch here with 63 minutes left, or 63 minutes in. Orlando City up 4-0 against Cincinnati. See what some fresh legs can do. Again, 90 degrees, muggy, late Sunday evening in Kissimmee, Florida. 4-0 score. It's, I think, wise both the teams. Coach Tyrone Marshall watched Inter Miami really beat up physically on Cincinnati. Picked up 18 fouls against the orange and blue. An interesting note for the road team. FC Cincinnati and Coach Marshall are undefeated when they have at least 3 subs. They're 3 wins, no losses, no draws. That will likely end today. They've already seen 3 subs for FC Cincinnati. It is a reflection, though, of the deep bench, and it shows that when Coach Marshall goes to his bench, he has an eye for where to put players, when to bring them in, because oftentimes whatever combination he's used has been successful when he does go with at least 3 players off the pine. in the box, and it's got to be a foul on Orlando City. No call there. As number 58 for Cincinnati, Valenzuela, went to the turf hard. And counterattack on the other end, rolls to the keeper, and it is cleared by Paul Walters. Right to a defender, that is Muhammad. Muhammad slows the tempo, drops in the box, crossing passes, punched up in the air by the keeper, and then saved by the back line. As Muhammad was beelining for that left post, trying to punch it in with the chest. Juninho making a move, already one goal, tripped up just outside the box. He's still on the turf. And we might have to get a look at the captain, Juninho, as he is slow to get up. Kyle Johnson, the head official, will check on number 58 in Orlando City purple. So watch that replay. He might have been Solis. I may have got my number wrong there. Either way, he's up. Thankfully, happened just outside the box. No foul was called either. Tercios, his first time touching the ball at midfield. See what he can do here. Young, talented player for Cincinnati. A couple players tangle up at midfield. It's Drias battling for it for FC Cincinnati, too. And another foul called on Orlando City. Apanonu to kick. He's played every minute so far for the road team. That back line has seen a lot of action. Little touch to the sideline. Here's Halsey. Halsey works to his left foot, has an angle. Halsey the chip, missing the right post, and it will roll out a play. Smart shot there from Halsey. Coming off his third assist against Inter Miami. He's had a good week. The last 3 goals that have been scored by Cincinnati, all of them have been set up by Halsey. So the offense oftentimes runs through him. The 7th pick in the 2021 MLS Super Draft, played for Colorado Springs Switchback FC in the USL Championship last year. Been great to have you with us on this Sunday evening. It was a close match until about the 25-minute mark, and then Orlando City scored 4 goals in a 22-minute span.
The yellow card has been issued to OCB number 50, Javier Otero, in the 68th minute.
A yellow card given to Javier Otero, the keeper. Ling scored the first goal at the 25-minute mark, then about at the 31-minute mark, off a set play. Juninho, the captain for Orlando City, scored his first goal of the season. Then 5 minutes later, Shakur Muhammad scored his second goal this year off a gorgeous setup from Luca Petrasso. Then maybe the most unexpected goal, Almaguer from about 30 yards out. A perfect shot, rolled on the ground, past the back line, and went through the corner to give Orlando City the 4-0 lead. Neither team has scored in the second half. Let's see what the home team can do here. A little momentum. On the right side, it's Freeman. Touches back to the middle. Taifi to Muhammad, and he's shielded off as it rolls out of play. Walters will let everybody catch their breath in this back and forth matchup. 2 teams that like to run. Cincinnati executed the game plan early. They got to the outside and went back to the middle. That's exactly what Coach Marshall preaches. I think fatigue just caught up with them with their second Florida match in 4 days. portion of the match is brought to you by your Central Florida Audi dealer. Visit AudiOffers.com for exceptional offers. Orlando has played at the speed of an Audi, up and down throughout this match, leading 4-0. Ball rolls to the corner. Let's see what the official calls as we are approaching the 70-minute mark. It'll be a corner throw-in from Halsey. Halsey delivers towards the box. Now takes it back in the corner. Their assist leader. Miscue on the touch, and it's taken by Orlando City. Handful of subs in. As both teams have been able to empty the bench here in the second half. Always a good thing. You can get more guys action, let them show off their skills. Oh, there's Muhammad already. One goal. Can he make it? Two. Went for the crossing pass, and the back line for FC Cincinnati 2 was able to stop it. Now Marshall looking to clear, and it goes out of play. Muhammad, a stealthy pass across the middle. And we have a couple subs coming in, one for either team. As Marshall comes out for Cincinnati. Conte comes in.
Leading the game is number 14, Sheikh Mohammed. He's replaced by number 95, Fabian Loyola.
Sheikh Mohammed is out for Orlando City, and Fabian Loyola, who scored twice last year against Cincinnati 2, and that is in. He also scored twice earlier this year against Inter Miami, so Fabian Loyola, an 18-year-old, he's one of those players that when you look at the roster, you get excited to watch play. He doesn't get the minutes that his teammates do. He's played in now 11 games, only started 6 of them. But he is a player that comes in, provides that energy, and is always up for a goal score. He had a brace against Cincinnati last year in their 2-2 draw to close out the season here in Kissimmee. And he had 2 goals against Inter Miami earlier this year. He wears number 95 for Orlando City. This one's headed into the attacking third and cleared back out. If you're a casual fan, maybe scrolling around and checking out your MLS Next Pro matches tonight, he is a player you want to keep a close eye on. Number 95 for Orlando City B. Already leading 4-0. All 4 of those goals came in a 22-minute stretch from the 25-minute mark of the first half until halftime. Really, they all came within about an 18-minute stretch. The first goal at the 25-minute mark. The fourth at about the 44, I guess, 19-minute stretch. 44-minute mark off the foot of Almagar outside the box. And that was the story. That has been the story today. That burst of goals from Orlando City. A little pushing and shoving at midfield. Haroun Conte runs it down. Number 62, in for the 10th time this year, does have a goal for Cincinnati. And a foul called on Orlando City. Everybody, I think, for Cincinnati deserves a really nice ice bath after tonight. I mean, you got to give them credit for how hard they've played over the past 4 days. 2 physical matches in the heat of Florida as Halsey tumbles to the turf. These are the type of stretches that build character. They're no fun when you lose 3-1 and now down 4-0. In back-to-back road matches, but tough stretches can benefit you towards the end of the year, as that was a gorgeous pass from Halsey that was knocked away by the back line, still in possession. Here is Conte. Let's see what he can do as he tight ropes by the goal, and it's blocked and bounces into the hands of the keeper, Javier Otero. Just one save tonight for Otero. We'll see what that is considered. And you look at that and say, okay, he's not been tested. Well, Otero had a lot of work to do in the first 15 minutes, and he really set the tempo defensively for Orlando City. He gave his offense a moment to find their rhythm, and they scored very quickly once they did. Valenzuela wanted a call, wanted the penalty kick, doesn't get it. And now the counterattack, led by Loyola. The midfielder, already 2 goals this year, 18-year-old, line drive pass off the cranium of Garcia, stays on the attacking third of Orlando City. This part of the match is brought to you by Body Armor, more than a sports drink. Body Armor. Shape of the box, crossing shot is wide and goes out of play. If you have a moment, check out the vitamin numbers on your Body Armor next time you get it. I think you'll be impressed. They, somebody that likes to see what the sugar amount is and what the vitamin total is. Body Armor does a good job. Let's have a look at this last play. The ball went into the box. It was chipped by Granados, looking for the goal. Would have been his first this year. And he just maybe a little bit long. Could have been a pass, could have been a shot. Kind of tough to tell. Maybe somewhere in between from Granados, the 5'10 midfielder. Hydration break, 15 minutes as left in this match. It's been all Orlando City since the 25-minute mark. There's a scoreless tie until then, when the team's leading goal scorer, Jack Lynn, scored off in a pass from Medina. Medina got the assist. Lynn scored his 7th goal this season and his 5th in as many matches. 4 minutes later, Juninho, the captain, had a set play just outside the box after a foul, and he bent it into the upper left corner of the goal for a perfect shot to give Orlando City a comfortable lead. They would double it over the next 10 minutes. Mohamed scored in the 36th minute off a gorgeous pass from Petrasso. Mohamed, a half bicycle kick. It was a high kick with his right foot, drilled it into the corner of the net. And then Almugar scored his first goal of the year just under 44 minutes in. It was a surprising right-footed kick from about 5 yards outside the box. It was perfectly placed on the left side of the net as it rolled right through the back line and just past the keeper Walters. And it has been all Orlando City B today, leading 4-0 against FC Cincinnati. 2 Orlando City B trying to stay undefeated this year. FC Cincinnati 2 trying to win their first match on the road, I should say. Orlando City B trying to stay undefeated at home this season. It has been let's put it this way, the home cooking has tasted good for Orlando City B. And when you win your home matches, that's a big part of a successful season. That is why the purple and gold are in 4th place in the Eastern Conference, but knocking on the door of 2nd, just 2 points behind New England and New York. Orlando City entered tonight with a -2 goal differential. That will push positive. At least very likely it will push positive unless they give up a pair in these final about 13 or 14 minutes. It has been fun having you here. It's been a back and forth match in terms of the intensity, the passing up and down the field, very fast-paced play from both these teams. We've mentioned it a couple times. The passing percentage for Orlando City is near the top of the league, and the assist totals are 3rd for Cincinnati. So 2 teams that are good with the ball. They pass well, and that always makes for an exciting match, even when the score is lopsided like it is today. And passing, nice little touch in the middle of the field. The deep shot is blocked by the back line of Cincinnati. Now the touch to midfield, and again another Cincinnati player falls as Valenzuela. The 18-year-old from Boca Raton is going to have some hefty grass stains to get out of his jersey. Diving save by Garcia as he turns it away. That was a nice play by David Garcia, coming off the bench looking for more minutes. Little contact in the backfield and the takeaway from Orlando City. As the pass goes to Juninho. Juninho, the fake, the touch back to the captain. Juninho going for a second goal, and it bounces off the post. It somehow stayed in play as Loyola ran it down. Back to Loyola. The touch to the middle. Loyola takes it, tackled outside the box. And it rolls towards the sideline and picked up by Freeman. Freeman crosses in the middle, waiting for it. In the back line is Apanonu. Adams kicks it to himself over the defender, rolls up the sideline, and it's going to belong to, I believe, Orlando City. Let's check that shot out again. Juninho scored his first goal of the season in the first half, 6 inches away from his second. Difficult shot, just missed it off the post. Granados at midfield, a little pushing and shoving. Head referee Kyle Johnson gives both players a talking. Under 10 minutes left. Orlando City a comfortable 4-0 lead. All 4 goals in a 20-minute span in the first half. I think your message, if you're Coach Tyrone Marshall, is look, it's been a tough couple matches, tough 5-day stretch for Cincinnati. They knew it would be a challenge. You take the lessons learned here, you use it to build. Deep kick. Almost into the second deck there. See, let's watch that one again. We talked about him. Actually, this is Zakari Taifi. Seeing his first action since week 10. So FC Cincinnati hosts New England. That'll be a tough matchup. That comes up in a week, so they have some time to rest. And then New York Red Bull, so 2 of the better teams in the Eastern Conference. New England at 2nd and the Red Bull at 3. But the New England matchup is at home, so that anytime you're playing on your home turf, especially FC Cincinnati, who's been very good at home this year, very winnable match there, even against a tough opponent, then New York Red Bulls the following week, that will be a challenge, as it is on the road. And then 2 out of their following 3 after that are at home, including 1 against this Orlando team. They go on the road to Chicago, and then they host Miami after. So no rest for the weary, at least when it comes to the quality of competition. Over the next couple of weeks, they will face 3 of the top 4 teams in the Eastern Conference, including this Orlando roster once again. But a handful of those are at home, and that is a big positive for Cincinnati. And of course, they don't have any 2 matches in 1 week. So over the next, I guess I should say, month, they have some very tough competition, but a chance to play them at home. We mentioned it at the top, and if you're Orlando, you face your next 7 matches are all against Eastern Conference teams, and all of them are below you in the standings. So if we're going by those numbers, it is a chance for Orlando City B to make up some ground on the top. They already are going to do that today, potentially even move into 2nd place, but a chance to maybe pad their spot in the standings and make a run at Crown Legacy FC. They're only a couple victories behind them. Came in today 6 points behind Crown Legacy FC, who plays, I believe it was New England later on this week. Through pass cleared by the back line. So you're thinking, or if you're Orlando, you have a chance to really pick up some wins. Been a challenging stretch, but 3 points today goes a long way. After that tough loss to Toronto last week, they were clean sheeted. Foster. Reliable backfield player, 22 interceptions. Isaiah Foster, as a Cincinnati player, is knocked to the ground. That is Valenzuela again. Apa Onu almost had a look. Knocked down going to that left post. Little skip towards the sideline. And on the counterattack, Fabian Loyola with 2 goals this season in an open field. Slows the tempo, lets his teammates catch up, rolls back to the middle. The quick strike and a wide shot from Moises Tablante, the Valencia Venezuela native. Gonna replay Loyola over to Tablante. We'll have the man of the match when we wrap up. Don't want to give it away quite yet. Could go to a couple players. Lynn scored the first goal. You had that great set play kick from Juninho. Shakur Muhammad has been incredibly active, and then the 4th goal was the first of the year for Imanol Almagar. We'll keep you in suspense as to who gets it. Find out in just a few moments as we're wrapping up in Kissimmee, Florida. 4-0 Orlando City, comfortable lead. They scored all 4 goals between the 25-minute mark and the 44-minute mark of that first half. Second half, we've not seen a goal. FC Cincinnati, their 4th match in as many days. They played on Thursday, and Inter Miami lost 3-1. 2 of their next 3 are at home, as they will have some time to get back to Ohio, Northern Kentucky, spend some time with their families, their host families, maybe each other. Got a week off after a tough trip here in Miami, but a chance to grow, a chance to learn from this experience. And an important stretch coming up. They face some top-tier teams in the Eastern Conference, but a handful of those matches, including one against New England, one against Orlando City, are at home. Through ball pass, and it's going to be an offsides call as Foster started his run just a little bit too early. One note we didn't make, and I'm trying to think back, and this trend is not held up entirely today. 11 of the 13 goals for Orlando City this year. So you think about that number, they've got 21 goals this season, well now 25, and 15 of them have been at home. So 11 of the 13 coming in, actually it would be 17 of their 25 have been at home. 11 of the 13 had been in the box. It's only 2 outside of the box prior to today. They add 2 more outside the box at home after Juninho scored on the left side, and then a surprising deep kick from Almagar to close out the first half. So they've scored 17 goals at home this season, and now 13 of them have been inside the box. So it shows where Orlando City likes to be aggressive, likes to attack when they're at home, when they're playing their best. Drias. Foster left foots it midfield to Salim Adams. Came in at about the 50-minute mark. A battle won there for Cincinnati FC and Drias. Drias may have been a little bit too passive and lost control. That might be the last great opportunity for the road team. Credit to Drias, he's played this entire matchup. It's been very physical. 90 degrees in Kissimmee, Florida. Everybody who started and is still out there really deserve a lot of credit for their effort today.
Ladies and gentlemen,
That includes Apanonu.
There will be a minimum of 2 minutes.
So 2 minutes of added time as the ball rolls to the sideline. Garcia gives chase, turns it out of play. A throw-in coming up for Orlando City. Orlando City is going to move to 7-4-2 this year. FC Cincinnati 2 drops to 3-6-3. Now those draws, they go down as draws in the standings, those ties, but they lead to shootouts. And if you win the shootout, of course, this year you get 2 points as opposed to 1. Loyola we'll milk this clock. Just under 70 seconds left. We appreciate you tuning in today and joining us on this Sunday evening. In the box, here's Loyola. On the left foot, it goes off the cheek of Tercios. Rebounded by Orlando City and drilled out of play. We'll give you the man of the match in just a few moments when we wrap up. Go over some final notes before we close up shop. Orlando City coasting to the win, leading 4-0. And credit to the back line for Orlando City. They've kept Ryder Mills in check. He's still out there. Haven't been able to call his name a whole lot today just because of the great defense from Orlando City B. And that leads to the final whistle. Orlando City B scores 4 goals in over a 20-minute stretch in the first half, and they win 4-0. They clean sheet Cincinnati. FC Cincinnati to a tough trip, back-to-back matches in Florida. They now go home for 2 of the next 3, and a chance to make up some ground in the standings for Orlando City B. They rebound after being clean sheeted by Toronto 2, and take out FC Cincinnati 2 4-0. Lynn scores. Mohammed scores, Almaguer scores, and of course the captain scored as well, Juninho. Let's go ahead and get to our man of the match. Today's man of the match is number 14, Shakur Mohammed of Orlando City B. And it's presented by Adidas. Mohammed was one of 4 players to score a goal today, but he was active the entire time he was out there. His goal was set up by Luca Petrasso. Gorgeous crossing pass, kick hip high from Mohammed. Maybe the prettiest of all the goals, and that is why he earns man of the match today. Shakur Mohammed, he has 2 goals this season, but it was a lot of little things from Mohammed. Up and down the field with great pace. He really set the tempo for Orlando City B today. So the final score, Orlando City B takes out FC Cincinnati 2 by a 4-0 crew. For our entire MLS Next Pro broadcast crew, I'm Ryan Pierce. A 4-0 score, I should say. Again, Orlando City B beats FC Cincinnati 2 4-0. Don't forget you can watch MLS Next Pro all season long at MLS Season Pass on Apple TV and MLSNextPro.com. Thank you for watching. Good night.
This copyrighted broadcast of MLS Next Pro may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcasted without the express written consent of Major League Soccer.